What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News. and, man, let's talk about some boxing. We had a great live stream yesterday. I want another great one today. You know, uh, we had Michael Hunter for a very, very short stint of time for about 3.5 rounds. He did the damn deal on Mike Wilson, right? And bounce Wilson's head off the canvas like a Wilson basketball. So, um, meanwhile, I just been chilling watching the Olympics, loading the video here and there throughout the day. Took a nap and stuff like that. So, ready to talk about some boxing. Okay. Um, have you guys been keeping up with the Olympics? We got one on the chat. I'm just letting it load, letting it pop, letting everything drop. Then I'm watching Dominican Republic versus USA. Like like those Dominicans, dude, they got some freaking Amazons, don't they? Dang. Oh yeah, they got that. They got that. but we got one and two. We got two on the chat. Counterpunch to you too. Well, how would you rate Michael Hunter's performance yesterday? Karn, what's up, Kurt? Been watching some. Been watching some. Yeah, I see. Yaffe got silver, I think, and Clark is in the semis. Let me look, man. Let me see. Yeah, let's see it. Jack Steele, what's going on, brother? Kind of punch to you. Okay, so we have, damn. So tomorrow, which is Thursday, so at 1:35 a.m. we have D. Reagan versus A. Balti Gazev. Then we got tomorrow at 12, we got K.A. Harrington from Ireland versus C. Sondi. Okay, then we got I didn't see Hunter's fight, but apparently he done him in 4. Dude, yeah, he caught this guy with a damn. It was a it was a pull counter. And it was the counter it was the kind of punch where it's like Mike Wilson didn't belong in there, man. He did not belong in that ring, to say the least. He didn't belong in it. It was like he didn't belong in there. Let me say that, because he took the fight. I mean, you got to give him credit, even though he was like it wasn't. You have to think back, like what happened to Mike Wilson from the amateurs to the pros, because it was like Mike Wilson and Michael Hunter. They supposed, he like Michael Hunter supposed to barely edged out a decision, you know, but then he gets just mopped. I mean, this guy gets mopped. He catches, man, look, he catches Wilson with Wilson throwing his lazy ass jab. Dude, it was crazy. It was crazy. Fish R1 200R. All right, Kurt in the chat. Counterpunch to you, brother. Lauren Price is worth a look at. We're talking Olympics. I know they had a close amateur fight. Yeah, Lauren Price. Okay. Okay, men's middleweight. That's H. Sosa versus Bakshi. That's 1 a.m. Okay, so this is late. This is late in the night. Good. Because I was thinking like maybe I missed it because it was too early. Yeah, it's early, all right. Shit, it's late. So, okay. All right, well, cool. Well, I look forward to this then. And in fact, since we're doing that, why not cover the Olympics? I'm gonna cover this starting at 12 o'clock with the women's lightweight. What do you guys think of that? You guys will be up. I'm pretty sure you will, especially the guys across the pond. Because if it's 1 o'clock, so that means it's like 7 in the morning. That's if you guys don't got to go to work or something like that. You know, I know not everybody like me just got time to sit around and shit. You know what I mean? We got bills and shit, Kurt. you know, maybe Dubois versus Hunter on Triller. That would be good. I mean, Hunter needs something on that grounds. That's if he can. And, I think he should get in where he can fit in. Bacon and the Bits dropping a a quarter dub on my boy Kurt, setting the tone. Bacon and the Bits. Appreciate the love, brother. Appreciate the love, man. Definitely. She's super middle, I think. Okay. Lauren Price. Why you not covering Mickey Theo versus John Fury? When are they fighting? I know Mickey Theo. Yeah, because they were talking about fighting like last year or something like that, right? Yeah, because that's the fight with like Mickey Theo and they went back and forth. Because I know that was like in the midst of COVID and then like it never popped off the ground. 14th August deadline. Okay. Yvonne Nicholas, shout out from Scotland in this piece. Quan Big Guns. What's up, Kurt? Counterpunch to you. Can only see your hat, Kurt. Damn, what do you see? Because I mean, my hat's up here. You can't see none of this. 2 videos of Fighting Fury just dropped on YouTube. Okay, Kurt, you are the best. Counterpunching you from Ghana. Yeah, I do. Pokey, appreciate your brother. Counterpunch to you. Leo Williams, who do you think White will fight in the U.S.? Jermaine Franklin. Jermaine Franklin. I think he will fight Jermaine Franklin. Isaac Myers. What's up, Kurt? Keep the counter punching. Absolutely. I'm going to keep up the counter punching. Definitely. Don't worry. We see you well. That's a good thing. That's a real good thing, Quan. Thank you so much, very much. Here, bro. No problem. No problem. There's 2 videos of John Fury fighting back in the day just dropped on YouTube by Porky. All right, let me check this out because he ain't get knocked out, is he? Let's see. Because, All right, John Fury fights. Okay. I mean, I've seen him getting KO'd. I've seen him getting KO'd. Let's see, like by a couple guys, because I countered a couple of those videos, and I was like, dude, what the hell? John got embarrassed. Oh no. You say by Porky, huh? Let me see if I can find Porky, because when I look it up, obviously, let me see Porky. John Fury. Hmm. Porky's Corner. Okay, July 20th, Super Helmets, Porky's Corner, Boxing Asylum. Okay, this is a reminder. I don't see it. He must have took it down. What's or I can't view it here. D Hodges, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Can't wait to see the Ortiz fight. Okay. Thought you would have covered the beef. I mean, I covered it last year. I did. I covered it last year, and John Fury, that was a fight that was going up. That they talked about fighting. I mean, what I'm saying, I don't know if it would go down like that or not. And then, dímelo, Jay Rodriguez, que lo que, todo bien. What's popping, my brother? Lee Campbell, counterpunch to you, bro. John 55 in the box of tissues. John Fury's last KO losses was a blatant fix, like AJ versus Ruiz and Wilder Ortiz too. Ooh, wow! Wait a minute. You know what? Channel 55 in a box of tissues. The Ruiz, did you say the Wilder Ortiz 2 was fixed? Please, can you elaborate on that? What's a more interesting fight to make and watch? Wilder and Fury or Wilder and Joshua? What's a more interesting fight to make and watch? Well, it has to be Joshua Wilder now, because I mean that would be the fight you would want to see, because we've already seen what Fury and Wilder can produce. We've seen two installments of the same two guys, so it has to be Joshua. Unless thing about Joshua and Wilder though, if those guys fought 5 times, Joshua and Wilder, there would be no determination. And the sad thing about that is there won't be a win. Like you can't just say, "Oh man, Wilder really gonna get beat up this time," because Wilder's one of those guys where if he can deliver the right punch and hit you with the right punch, he can knock you out or hurt you. So he's really dangerous. He's a real dangerous character. Whereas with Joshua, though, if Joshua goes down with Wilder, it depends on it's how he goes down. Will he go down like a ton of bricks, like Brazil? Like Wilder steps back and, because that's just so blatant, so defining. I mean, because you've seen Wilder do that so many times. When he catches you at the end of that right hand, and it's almost like it don't matter who's on the end of that right hand. It don't matter if it's Joshua, Fury, anybody that gets hit with that right hand. And the thing about Wilder was, I think, that right hand, he got better at delivering it, and better at disguising it. So, a lot of times, you like the first, like look at him in the first Fury fight. And you see how Wilder threw that right hand and he would telegraph it so much. Tyson Fury saw that shit and he was coming, well, here it is. Let me slip up under that damn thing. And then when he threw the right, Fury revealed, and he acknowledged, like, there ain't shit else coming back. So if he threw that, it's like throwing like a rocket launcher. It's like taking the level, like taking the missile, and then But that's all. That rocket was that right hand. And then Fury knew, okay, all I got to do is slip up under this sucker and then counter under it. That was the difference between the first fight and the second fight. About 15 minutes in video he dropped today. I don't know. Well, I don't know. Kurt, have you covered the purse split between Shakur Stevenson and Herring for the WBO? Herring is getting 37% as the champion. Yeah, Herring is the new kid on the block, very talented. He is the champion. That's what the fight's supposed to be for. That exactly is what Team Stevenson wants. See, but here's the problem. That's the appeal to want to fight Herring. If it wasn't for the belt, that would really be no fight. Shakur Stevenson is the golden Olympian. That's the guy that, people really want to see. Herring is the guy that will give probably, as of now, the most resistance because of who he is. And, so yes, he brings something to the table. He brings intriguement to the table on top of the belt, right? But other than that, it's Stevenson. And it's set up like that. That other 63% is set up for that guy. So, does it suck? Is it fair? No, it's not fair. But business is not really fair. It's like, well, this business makes $1 million a year, and this business only makes 50,000. And then you want to merge, and then you want to say, well, why is $1 million business getting so much revenue when they merge? Well, there you go, because one only makes a certain amount of money, and only one's marquee value is only a certain amount. That's why. I keep running in. I wouldn't be surprised if it got taken down. Personally, don't want to see old men fight. Well, tell that to the old men, because a lot of times people, just like I got friends that don't like to see women fight. I'm not necessarily like. Thing is, I like UFC. I like UFC. Women in UFC. Boxing, it's, I'd rather watch women UFC. What are these people saying Wilder versus Ortiz was fixed? Are these Fury fanboys? I don't think that any of those fights were fixed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did put like once upon a time, I know after Joshua got beat the first time, it was almost like a what if, because I had a serious like, hey, well, what if, or serious question, right? Like, was that fight fixed? Because it seemed like if it was fixed, it would be beneficial for AJ, because AJ didn't have anybody to fight, right? He couldn't fight Ortiz because Ortiz was wrapped up with Wilder. He couldn't fight Wilder because Wilder already had his 2 fights, which was Ortiz and Fury. He couldn't fight Fury because Fury was with ESPN. And then really, there was really no desire to really fight Fury because Fury didn't really have a belt. What else? And there was really nothing that he could fight, or no one that he could really fight at that point. Dion W. What up, Kurt? Checking in from the workhouse. What are we talking about? Dion, we'll talk about everything under the sun, my brother. Thank you for the love. Have a great day at work. I hope you're kicking ass in your shift. I predict Wilder Fury 3 will be fireworks. The best one yet. Christian NWO. I think so too. I think part 3, and I was thinking that I've been saying that for the last 2 days. Watching Wilder, with Malik Scott, and I think it's a blessing because I think now Malik Scott has more access to Wilder than Mark Breland could be allowed to, and JD's didn't know to. So JD's didn't have the knowledge that Mark Breland had, but it didn't matter because Mark Breland couldn't train Wilder like he wanted to because he had restrictions. He was just there for the guy that filled in, that knows stuff. But it really didn't matter if you didn't use him. If he couldn't use the knowledge, if he couldn't do the things that he's supposed to do, it really didn't matter. So all this time has been such a blessing for Team Wilder. And I want people to understand that. You had all those close calls, all those fights. Think about that. You had the Gerald Washington fight, you know, the Spilka fight, both Ortiz fights. Um, How now we look at it now, the first Fury fight. So he's had a lot of close calls, and they all came to the point fact that they didn't teach Wilder like they didn't teach him and they didn't train him like he's supposed to have been teached or taught or trained. He didn't. And I honestly think Malik Scott sat back and watched this guy, a part of Team Wilder himself, watched this guy and thought to himself, like, you know what? I can improve that shit, but that ain't my call. Have you guys noticed Malik Scott's interviews? Have you noticed how, like, on point he is with certain things? You can tell when a person's passionate about something. Malik Scott's passionate about training Deontay Wilder. Absolutely. You know what I mean? He is passionate about training that brother. Like there is nothing else that he's where he did that and smoking damn cigars. Right? You know what I mean? Showing off his man boobs in the hot tub. That's the only thing that he's worried about. That's it. He's not worried about what people say, what people said, what people thought, what happened. He ain't worried about none of it. He's thinking about right now training Deontay Wilder. And I think that has came from him watching Wilder for the last 4 or 5 years, more than likely, do things, be allowed to do things or whatever, all wrong in his eyes. Now he's able and he has full access to. Most of Wilder's fights look fixed. Malik Scott's not the only one. Ooh, Red or Dead. Oh, Red or Dead. Show me, please jot down a series of fights that you think were fixed. Jag Shima. Who will win? Fury or Wilder 3? Man, you know, I gave a prediction, and the prediction was Wilder by disqualification. You know, now I don't know. Because see, the fight didn't happen. That fight's supposed to have been over, man. Look, it is the 4th of August. We should have been talking about that fight. That fight should have happened 2 weeks ago. Content creators should have still been talking about that fight. Excuses or whatever that's made by either side about that fight, win, lose, or draw. You know, why this didn't happen, why that didn't happen, right? I think if Wilder hits AJ flush, it's over. I think if Wilder hits anyone flush, it's over. Maybe Fury, because Fury took a right hand flush, but he got up. But understand, like Wilder is a guy. He's quite peculiar because he throws that right hand and he throws it with everything on it. So if it lands, it's supposed to do the damage that it's supposed to do because Wilder's throwing it with full intention of knocking you out with every time he throws it. And if you notice, he'll have that hand cocked and he'll try to jab and jab. He might throw one to the body every so often, but he'll have that hand cocked, right? Now, if he gets close enough, like he did with Luis Ortiz, I don't think that shit was fixed at all. You know what I'm saying? I know that Ortiz didn't expect it. He didn't expect that. No, he thought that he was going to go wide, and he went straight up the middle, and he caught Luis Ortiz. Because a lot of times Wilder will throw it over the. He will throw it. He will throw it as like a right hook, but his back foot is on the right, so it's like a chopping overhand right, kind of. You know what I mean? Because he try to throw it around or loop with it or whatnot, but he threw that sucker right up in Ortiz. He had that hand like this, but it came right here. So, no, I don't think that was fixed at all, bro. And I don't think the count was too fast either. I just think he got nailed. I think by the time he was looking around. Oh man. Wilder never had fixed fights, maybe Malik, but Wilder was too powerful for everyone. Well, the power. Well, I think the power saved him. And you think of it, and again, the blessing thing about Wilder is he just got the job done with the right. He got it done. He could have been losing in all them rounds. I mean, like he wouldn't win in that none of those Ortiz fights. See what you're saying, Kurt, but I can't see AJ being still long enough to get caught. Well, AJ is going to be smart enough not to. I feel. And that would be that would be the equation. Could Wilder catch Joshua with the right hand on top of getting jabbed, right, taking right hands from Joshua himself and left hooks? So that fight could be. We got to see that fight, man. We can't that fight has to happen next year. I don't give a fuck about like undisputed and stuff like that. Really look at it. I think Eddie Hearn said one of the ballsiest things that I ever heard anyone say. Get rid of all the belts. Let Joshua, and I think what would be so gangsta is if Joshua, like let's say Joshua fights Tyson Fury for undisputed, right? And he wins. He then drops all them fucking belts. He drops every one of them. And then all the other fighters can fight for him, but you know what that would do? That would cripple the sanctioning bodies, which would be not a bad thing, but it would empower him because people then would look at him as a newfound lineal champ. He would be like Tyson Fury claims he is right now. I'm the lineal champ. I'm the Gypsy King. I'm the guy that beat the guy. He would be that guy because he could let go of every belt and let everybody else fight for him and have some kind of newfound purpose to them. But then people that carry them when they pick them back up, because somebody will fight for them. And the people that fight for them, they will really realize in the back of their head, like, you know what, Joshua, this is leftover Joshua decision making. I really don't have this belt. Joshua actually owns this shit. He just dropped it and he still makes the same amount of money. I think that shit would be awesome. AJ's uppercuts Wilder's right hand. Well, the right uppercut's massive. The left uppercut's massive. You know what I mean? And the jab that sets all that shit up, Diego Vargas. But no, I mean, I think those fights, I don't care if something has to happen. I don't care if they both lose. If Wilder lost and Joshua lost, if they fight each other next year, I think it would be worth it because guess what? They have 2 losses. They're still both the top. This is all we have. We in the heavyweight division, who do we have at the top? Who do we view as the top fighters? It's going to be Joshua, Wilder, Fury, Wilder, Joshua, Fury. However you want to look at it. Those are still going to be the elite fighters in the heavyweight division. It don't matter if they lost or not. Now, will Fury have an up on everyone if he didn't get defeated? Yeah, of course he will. Because you know how people view the O. Floyd. I'm the reason that people look at the O like they never looked at before. Bars. I can see AJ using the same pull counter he used against Pulev against Wilder. Yeah, especially if Wilder starts pushing out that damn jab, doing some old habit bullshit. Yeah, he will get countered and hurt. You know what I mean? And then we'll see how tough Wilder really is. You know what I'm saying? Because we know an old man Ortiz teed off on him round 7, hit him with whatever the fuck he could hit him with. And Wilder stood up. He didn't fall. He did not fall. Let's hit that like button, guys. There's 75 people on here. Let's get 75 likes or more. Because the people that are already probably on here to hit the like button. For you all, you're good. For everybody else, let's hit that like button. It's that little thumb deal. Hit that little thumb icon. If you guys have it. I mean, old unfit men. Gotcha, Karn. Gotcha. Has Wilder's punch ever been scientifically proven as the hardest of all time? If not, it's a moot point. Although not a boxer, Francis Ngannou has the world record for the hardest punch recorded. Bond, I feel this is what I think about that, right? Bond, I feel this way about Deontay Wilder's hardest punch. No, it's not been proven. As far as I know, it hasn't been proven, but it's a PR market strategy. It's just, it's something to market a fighter. Man, he's the hardest hitting fighter. You know what I mean? And based off the knockout percentage, based off, the amount of knockouts and all that stuff. But like, no, it can have someone prove. No one ever even really thought of that. It's a marketable thing to market. It ain't his skill. It ain't like, oh, he's this best. And no, he's not that. He's just a guy that can hit really hard for his frame. Wilder looks like a basketball player, right? He doesn't look like a boxer. He doesn't look like a damn, he doesn't look like that kind of guy. Not saying he doesn't look menacing because, he looks like he could fuck you up, but then, look at his legs and stuff like that. There's nothing on him that just conveys or, makes you think in your mind like, dude, this dude will knock me out unless you see him hit someone, right? So no, Bond, I don't think it's been scientifically like they did Francis and Ngannou because they put a lot into the UFC. They do things like that, like experimental things like him. Bah! You know what I mean? So they don't know. They never done that with Wilder, I don't think. Just don't get hit with that punch from Wilder. Because I don't think that what was it, 9.888? No, it was about 80 something, but he got his ass knocked out. Is it true that Wilder can't weigh less than 230 because of the WBC Bridgerweight limit? I doubt that. Conrad, I doubt that. Because see, for one, Conrad, that's only from the WBC standpoint. The WB other, as far as I know, the other sanctioning bodies haven't jumped on that bandwagon yet. As far as Bridgerweight, the Bridgerweight was only created by the WBC and the WBC only as of right now. So no, I don't think that is the case. Now, however, if they start jumping on board, I think they're going to mandate that fighters are way more than that 225, I think. So I think you're going to have to weigh 225 or more for that, just not to fall in that realm, or you will be in that realm of Bridgerweight, which I'm totally against. I'm totally against that. The Bridgerweight bullshit is just a new way for people that normally wouldn't have to pay sanctioning fees to pay sanctioning fees. That's all. And Mauricio, he's gonna make an interim. He's gonna make a champion. So that's two checks. That's more revenue. AJ versus Usyk sold out. Versus Fury can't give tickets away. Reddit dead. That shit was sold out in 4 hours. Ruiz versus Areola 2. Diego Vargas. I don't see why not. But then Diego. Not right now. I wouldn't want to see that now. You know what that is? That's milking a situation. Kamal, counterpunch to you, brother. Kamal in the building. Is it? Let's see. But no, that's not it. No, Conrad. Just like with Bon Scott, that's not the truth. Because that's only an experimental thing. It's an attempt to make more money off of people that wouldn't be fighting for a title anyway. So you make a title for them, and then you make a title for them. Like, congratulations, you're a Bridgerweight champion. You're a bridge to cruiser and heavy. So you're a Bridgerweight. So guess what? Give me money. You're a champ. Cool. Give me the sanction fees, motherfucker. Up the money. Henny up. That's terrible. Uncle Dave Zilla, counterpunch to you, brother. I give AJ the edge over Wilder. AJ has the better fundamentals, so he's likely to land his power punches earlier. Ronan 7 by 9. He's going to have to. Okay, because see, one thing you don't do with Wilder, don't stand back and give Wilder distance. You don't give him that opportunity. You crowd him and you fight him and you beat him up. Why? Because he doesn't know how to fight on the inside. Wilder is not a fighter. Wilder is not a brawler. Wilder is not a boxer. Wilder is not a mover. Wilder is a puncher. That's what he is. He is not anything else. He's none of those other things. He's a puncher. And if he can punch you, he can win. And if he can punch you with his best punch, he can win. Okay, he can get the job done. Good night. And then he'll yell bomb squad and talk a bunch of shit. And praise God and the ancestors. And that will be it. You know what I mean? Could White force the WBC to call a mandatory? I did a video on that before I took a nap. No, I don't think he can. I think he can. I think they will allow it if the right person wins. Like I said in the video, if Wilder beats Fury, yeah, then I think they would then, and I say they, Mauricio would then be open to the idea of White and Wilder. If Fury beats Wilder again, they're going to go like regularly scheduled. And what they'll do, White will get the winner. That's how they would make. He would be the mandatory on the WBC on that end. But he will not step in the way of all that damn money in Saudi Arabia, people. That will not happen. I'm telling you. There ain't no way in hell Dillian White's going to come in and fuck up that amount of money. Especially if Joshua beats Usyk. Because the fight will be much more worth more. Because there will then be no one else to come in and say, except for White, oh no. That ain't going to work, people. Not going to work. Do you really think that Wilder has a chance? The chance against who? Fury? Yeah, he has a chance. He has a puncher's chance. He's always had that chance. Because we oddly sats. We don't know what Wilder's going to do. If Wilder, what he's been trained, if it don't work, because I mean, he ain't been in the ring since February of 2020. So if he goes in there and it doesn't feel right, he may go back to the same type of fight. But you ask yourself this question: was it impossible for Wilder to hit Fury in the second fight? Answer that question. Dion W with that super chat. Usyk Joshua, Wilder Fury, Pac-Man Spence, Porter Crawford. One of these fights is going to shock us all. What do you think? I think you're absolutely right. I think all of them will. Why not all of them? Appreciate the super chat and the love, brother. Charlie Torres, salute to you. Wilder's punch was his get out clause. Yeah. It will always be his get out clause. If Wilder keeps fighting, even if he loses again, if he keeps fighting, people are going to look at Wilder and write him out like a bad check in one of these fights where he's destined to lose and he's going to win because of the right hand that people will forget about. That's if he keeps fighting. If he doesn't keep fighting, he doesn't have the confidence that he thought that he had, that he claimed that he had, that speak it, believe it, receive it shit was all a promo, and in none of it he believed in. But if he keeps fighting, he will show people who he is as a fighter. And he will get the reputation of, man, look, not like a Darnell Boone, but something like a Darnell Boone. A couple notches up. No disrespect to Darnell Boone. He is a dangerous character. Ask anybody that fought him. He has the type of power to put you out, to upset your dreams as a fighter. There's a lot of people like, yo, don't fucking match him with Darnell Boone. I don't want a Darnell Boone fight. Wilder is a guy that, you have to respect the fight game and the possibility of him upsetting someone. Oh wow, yeah, they got that. My money would be on Pac to upset Spence. Okay. If Errol Spence can't handle that type of footwork from Manny, he's in trouble. Especially when Manny gets in the rhythm, because then he'd have to rely on punch or like catching Manny. Manny's 42 years old, bro. He'll be 43 this year. Holly Berry has nothing on beautiful Alicia Keys. You know, them are two beautiful women, so it's kind of like, hey, man, what's better, rack of lamb or ribeye? Dude, they're both fucking very good. You know what I mean? So, and I'm a, you know, Nikki Blue Eyes Austin, Evening Kurt. Funny how we don't support our own, but Joshua versus Usyk has sold out in 24 hours, 65,000. I know, right? You know, come on, man. When I heard John Fury say that shit, I had to counterpunch it. I had to counterpunch him because I'm like, are you sure about that? Like UK in boxing? Now if John Fury, now this is what I'll say because a lot of people mention, well, yeah, the actors, and he said it himself about actors coming over here, like Chiwetel Ejiofor or Idris Elba or other guys that came from the UK that are very good actors that now they're just balling over here, they're getting all the work. Well, that's acting, that's Holly weird, right? That's not, no. We're talking about boxing. Now, if he was only talking about that, that's one thing. But he was talking about his kids. He was talking about Tyson and Tommy and how they don't get paid. That's why Tommy's coming over here to fight, because he wants more money and because he didn't get the money over there. You know what I'm saying? No, no. The boxers are getting taken. Your fighter, your sons are not getting paid. They're not getting respected. And I countered why. Tell that to AJ, and just your son had to go another route. Lennox Lewis had to go another route. you know. Wilder doesn't have any power. He's too skinny. What he have is speed on the pivot, and a lot is from in iron in his right hand. Fact. Check the medical records. AJ has power. They both have power. That fucking rod is not generating that much power for him. That's keeping his fucking bones together. Karn. That's keeping his bones together. Because he broke it because he didn't know how to fucking punch back in the day. And he punched someone wrong, he broke his damn hand. And it's a procedure where they have iron rods to connect his bones together and keep them in place. So it's not like this big solid ass iron thing. And he's like, oh, like a loaded glove. Nah. That ain't the case, bro. My money would be on, okay. Dion, I can see Spence losing. If Errol Spence lost, that would be one of the worst miscalculations from Al Heyman in the last 5 years. He would feel like a real dumbass. Because, see, well, not really, because, see, the money was there for Spence. How much is Spence getting to fight Pacquiao? You guys know? Fury isn't a lineal champ because he didn't beat Lennox Lewis. That's correct. Brent Hernandez. Hot damn it, you're right. That's right. But who beat Lennox Lewis? Hasim Rahman. So he was the last lineal champ until Lennox Lewis took that shit back after he went back and knocked him back out. Let's hit that like button. We got 100 on the chat. Kurt versus Blue Blood fight. You guys are a trip. I ain't fighting Blue Blood in a fight. You know. You should cover the Olympic super heavyweights. The final has a great story. Um, I'm actually going to do a live later tonight. In fact, because I think it starts at 12 o'clock. So I'm gonna start watching this. Like, so it should be on the same channel. Is the Olympics all on the same channel? Right? Is it all on? Was it Fox? No, NBC. Right? Tokyo. Once beaten British Olympic gold medalist, two-time champion superstar boxer Anthony Joshua claims he sold out the stadium. Don't say it ain't so. Mr. J, say he didn't say that. Oh my God, because if he did, I gotta counter him. I be trying to stay off Blue at times because people be sending me stuff for Blue, and I'm like, man, I like Blue, man, you know, but that don't stop me from understanding he'd buy it. He didn't say nothing about Joshua selling out, did he? Please say he didn't say that. Wilder can't punch hard at close range. No, he can't. He can't punch hard at close range, Max. You're absolutely right. That's why when you get in mid range, you can beat the shit out of him. It's an open door. It's an open opportunity to beat Deontay Wilder. That would be the only chance someone like Ruiz would get him. The only problem with Ruiz, he's too short. That's like Dave Tua and Lennox Lewis. 224, I believe, Kurt. Okay. 224, what is that, the channel? So I wouldn't know the channel, just the network. So I guess it's NBC. But you guys don't have NBC, do you? Damn it. So you wouldn't know that. Once beaten British Olympic gold medalist, two-time champion superstar boxer Anthony Joshua claims that he sold out state. That sounds like something he would say if he did. Now, I don't think he would say that though, because it's all like if you don't like what a person done, just don't report on it. You know, a lot of people just like, oh, I'm not going to report that. So you're not going to see certain news being reported from certain channels. You're not going to see it. Wilder can't weigh less than 224 for this fight, as it's a WBC title. Really, Lady Shan. Yeah, send me some stuff on that. I never heard that. Fake Lady Shan? I don't know. Karn, no, it's me. Why fake me? Okay. Arlette, salute, Kurt. I hope you're feeling better. I'm feeling better today. I still got like a headache, kind of like if I move too much to the side, it's like pressure in my head or something, almost like a sinus like deal. I still got the cough. I'm not sweating as much. I thought all the fucking aches was gone, and I got this weird ass pain in my leg. It was weird. I'm like, dude, what's going on? So I don't know. Once beaten British Olympic gold medalist, two-time champion, superstar boxer Anthony Joshua claims he sold out. Nah, man. Okay. It seems people are forgetting Joshua can box and punch. He has a better boxing IQ than Wilder based on his competition. Troy Graham. People forget that, but I don't think the right people have forgot that. Shelly Finkel, all them people over there, they know Joshua can punch. See, people need to understand that when they talk about fighting or you're talking about any potential opponent from either side, you always have to factor in the risk of fighting that person. What are the dangers of fighting someone like Joshua? Yeah, the money's there, and that's what all people talked about. But what else was there? The fact that the man can knock your fucking head off. He could take you out. You think like if you think they want you do you think somebody, especially two fighters that are in competition, not only as just heavyweights, I mean in networks. Networks don't want to lose. Networks don't want to lose. So if they don't want to lose, it's a gamble putting two networks up together. You know, you got a guy from Matchroom from the UK and fights on DAZN and Sky Sports, right? Or he was, right? You think he still has a contract with them, you know, versus a guy that's from Showtime, Fox P, or was with Showtime, now it's with Fox, PBC, and Al Heyman. You know what I mean? Do you guys remember before Deontay Wilder declined the DAZN offer? What were the people on that side of the street saying? Take Sean Porter, for example. Sean Porter was saying, no, Deontay, don't leave me. Don't leave us, Deontay. That's like a camaraderie type thing. Okay, because those guys have built loyalty from fighting on those platforms. So they look at it as like a thing of it's something else, right? Bridger weight won't affect heavyweight money. Red or dead, it can't. Because if it starts affecting heavyweight money, it's no reason for it to be around. So yeah, that makes a lot of sense. All at the top has an extra Wilder moment with their trainer set aside. If Wilder beats Fury, White will never get a shot. I think if Wilder beats Fury, I think Mauricio will then mandate Dillian White to finally fight Wilder. Because see, they've both got beaten. They've both been beaten. So I think Mauricio won't waste any time. He was like, okay, this is the very next fight that should happen. Okay, because see, what does it mean then? Wilder beats Fury. Now Fury took a L. Okay, now he has a loss. So everybody's been beaten. There's no reason now to push a Joshua Fury fight because there won't be any desire for Joshua to fight Fury. So if that's the case, what Mauricio will do, he will then mandate now finally Wilder to fight White. Since they have both been defeated, they're both still, one's the champion, the other one's the interim champion. Now it's time to settle the score. Because on that other fight between Fury and Joshua, that's fizzled out now. Okay, that opportunity's lost. ¿Cómo estás usted? Ustedes? Karn was just gonna go to sleep. And I saw the live, so thought I'd tap in. I'm okay though. Thanks for asking. Lady, stay up with us. Damn it. Tyson Fury versus White will never happen. It's a non-starter. I don't think Tyson Fury and White probably won't. No. No, I don't think. Because see, that's the thing. That's exactly what I'm telling you. You know, DJ Duncan James, I'm with you because if Fury beats Wilder, then the next big fight and the next best opportunity would be Joshua Fury because it's already laid out. It's already laid out. Okay. White's just going to have to wait. That's why you're going to hear Mauricio, because of our greatest concern for the heavyweight division is to make the unification for the heavyweight division because of the most important progression of heavyweight fighting. I think that the best thing for boxing is for the Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury fight in Saudi Arabia. Oh man. because I mean that's all you would get, because White, I did not know. I did not promise. I said we would see if after the fight with Fury Wilder 3, we would then in return see where Dillian White is now going to be placed. And that's exactly what's going to happen. They going to say, fuck White. You going to stay where you've been. You've been doing it, you know? And I have my full support for Joshua fighting Tyson Fury in Saudi Arabia, and I welcome Joshua to honor the opportunity to fight for the WBC most stringent, prestigious belt. That's all gonna happen, man. I'm telling you that shit. Look. Now, if Wilder beats Fury, okay, see, Fury's opportunity with Joshua's over. So then he would be, it's time to honor the opportunity for Dillian White, which has been an outstanding um, interim heavyweight champion for a very long time, with a very challenging road ahead of him all these years. And it is now time to see Deontay Wilder, the two-time WBC heavyweight champion, to take on the unmovable Dillian White for a mandatory showdown for the heavyweight division. That's what'll happen. Mark my words. Mark my words. Even my dog is barking. I mean, look, because he's figuring that shit out as he goes. If you can see, Mauricio. He's talking because we don't want to overstep our boundaries to understand the problem. What the fuck you just say? Oh man, if Wilder beats Fury, he will push for a unification fight with AJ. Said is AJ. AJ said it was about the belts unification, not for the man. If Wilder beats AJ, he retires. Dr. Hook, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. That's a very good point. And then see, this is what's going to happen. This is Blue. My boy Blue, right? It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, Mauricio Suleiman has mandated a roadblock for two-time WBC heavyweight superstar boxer Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, which is wanting a showdown with the two-time unified British superstar boxer Anthony Joshua. And by putting a roadblock in with Dillian White fighting Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder at one of the worst times that we can possibly fathom. That being said, this was all the plan by Mauricio to stop the undisputed heavyweight superstar championship opportunity from ever taking place, and to keep Anthony Joshua safe from the hands of Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder. Yeah. I mean, look, it's one of those things that happens, and and I don't think it would be because see, he has to understand that White is trying his best to push the WBC to do the right thing. But at the end of the day, the WBC will only do what is beneficial for them. They are the worst type of opportunist that I ever seen. Oh my God, I forgot what you were talking about by the time you finish your blue. I mean, he'll tell you the backstory on I like backstories because I like storytelling, but it is what it is. If Wilder beats Fury, okay. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ain't that the truth? But I mean, that would be the narrative. I mean, that would be like, hey, um, but I don't have faith in a fight with I don't have faith in a Wilder Joshua fight, and that's the fight that I want to see because of what's already happened in the past. I think why Wilder and his team, I think they look at Joshua as a bad taste in their mouth. Unless that's just strictly the narrative or whatever. Okay, let's see. YouTube boxing to 6007. Uh-oh, y'all. Here we go again. Tommy Fury is built like a Ken Barbie doll with a good physique on the upper half, but chicken legs like his brother. Well, hey, you know what? He does have that, like, yeah, dude, I lift. I totally lift. He got the what you call the coat hanger shoulders. Oh man. Jake starches Tommy Fury. Damn. If Jake knocks out Tommy Fury, he'd be like one of them motherfuckers that, see, I could come in the box and I could beat the shit out of anybody. Let me spell that correctly. You even got his speech timing right. you you got Blue down to a T. Yeah, you man, you got a guy that makes 10 videos a day, so you hear him. He'll come across and you're like, you know, he covers the a lot of the uh welterweight stuff. So it's like a lot of times like, you know, that's the niche of certain fighters. Like, I'm a heavyweight guy. So I mean, I'll do Terrence Crawford and Sean Porter, but not like that. You know what I mean? Because who the hell is tight? Who is Keith Thurman fighting? I think I did a Keith Thurman video yesterday or like last night. But then who is he fighting? Who is he set to fight? Does anybody know who Keith Thurman's fighting? Oh yeah, you forgot to mention the arm reach advantage on their night. Yeah, I know, Victor. Oh, Jake fights tomato cans just like Jake. Tommy fights tomato cans just like Jake. Majestic TV. Hey Kurt, hope you are feeling better. Still having headaches. Yeah, but they ain't been as bad today. They ain't been as bad today. I can say they. I mean, I went to sleep and since I've been up, they've been pretty chill. So I'm thankful for that. What are you talking about? Are you Jake Paul fan? Jake Paul fanboy? Tommy will destroy Jake. Uh-oh. Conrad Taylor. What the time in the part of America I'm staying up late in the UK? It's 6:15 over here. No, man, I hit not interested in the channel whenever I see blue. Legend all sheet. Which three fighters do you believe were the ultimate example of failing to live up to their full potential? I mean, as a potential GOAT level talent that we did see. Um, Adrian Broner. He was a guy that was just, man. I mean, he had it all. He had the money, he had the opportunity, he had the platform, he had he had a lot. things going for him. You know, he had the influence. He had the audience. He had the personality. So Adrian Broner won. Uh, Felix Verdejo is the second one. And I mean, he had even he was on his way back. He could have still revamped his career and just, you know what I mean. He was very, and then he just that shit with that ex girlfriend, man. That dude, that took me back. I was taken aback, like, yo. And then plus he's going to jail, so more than likely he's going to jail. Um, and the third one, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. So yeah, that would be my three that I think of right off the top. YouTube killed the boxing star. I once impersonated you, Kurt, to my friend over the phone, and he thought it was you. So I get what you mean when listening to someone off. That's what's up, man. Duncan James, and you don't know that Jake can't box a boxer. As soon as Fury fought a boxer with a winning record, he struggled. Jake Paul beats Chavez Jr. You know what? That motherfucker might knock out Chavez Jr. And Chavez might get hit hard and quit. And then let his whatchamacallit, let some whores or hookers rather take his take his paycheck. Oh dude, Dominican Republic's really coming back. I noticed this. It's like, damn, she looks like Kim Fields. The facts of life. If Canelo fights Bivol, who you got? Um, I think Canelo. I still got Canelo because you have to look at Bivol hasn't been in there with that type of competition either. He's just a really good guy from his weight class. He's really good, really fast, but based on who he fought, is he ready for someone short and slick, fucking Wolverine built fucking Canelo? You know what I mean? That likes to slip under punches from taller guys and stuff like that. He might be a little bit too cutesy for Brittany. You know what I'm saying? But that doesn't mean that Bivol won't give him trouble with fast hand speed. So we'll see. Don't say that too loud and give Paul some ideas. I know, right? Chavez Jr.'s work ethic is actual poo poo. Yeah. How is the U.S. doing in the Olympics? They're doing all right. Pretty good, actually. Boxing is turning into a reality show. I know they are attracting their own audience, but what the fuck? Bon Scott, it was going in that direction for a very long time. So why did it schwack on that side? See? Okay. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. They won that, scored. Kurt, I've been around for a while, but I was today years old when I found out you was a stunt man. Propa to you. Proper to you, man. That's awesome. No wonder you get all these hot Mitchell. Yeah, yeah, man. I've been a stunt man since 2012. I've been an actor since 2010. So actually, I started stunts after acting. But so it was voiceovers first, acting second, stunts third. Any Bon Scott, if any of the top 20 in any division fight a YouTuber, then I am done with boxing. Enjoy. Well, no, Bond. You can't have that type of attitude. You want the top to go and do that. Why? So they can shut that perception down. Because see, what happens is, mm, what happens is, they get bold enough to do something they know or they felt they could do, and then when they get shut down, then they'll know, like, yo, I shouldn't have done that. It reminds me of a story back in the 60s. Um, I'm going to look it up for you guys. Um, okay, this reminds me of, wow, Kurt, that's amazing. Actor, stuntman, boxer. Yo, you're not, I'm going to tell you guys though. Um, Before I do that, I want to tell you guys about the Battle of the Network Stars, right? Um, Robert Conrad. Do you guys know who Robert Conrad is or was? He was a guy that played in the Wild Wild West. I don't mean the bullshit flopped movie with Will Smith. I mean the actual show in the 60s. Do you guys know who that is? Robert Conrad? No, it wasn't around in the 60s, but, I have older parents, so they were. And there are such things called reruns. So I used to watch this, right? Robert Conrad, Kumo D. What we're witnessing is war between the zone and pay per view. That's what I think. It's so much cheaper. They are afraid the zone will become like Netflix. And they are going to become like Netflix. And pay per view is going to become like fucking Blockbuster. That shit's going to happen. As much as I miss and love Blockbuster, I wish if I was driving down the street, down an interstate, highway, whatever, and I seen a fucking Blockbuster, I'm going to make it my business to get off and see and visit that place. So, world peace. Ghana in the house. Counterpunch to you. Okay? Now, but anyway, don't want to get off. Like, Robert Conrad believed that he could beat uh Kaplan. Kaplan was a runner, okay? And he told him, dude, you will never be able to beat me. Robert Conrad was like, dude, I can beat you because I'm a martial artist, and if I focus my body to do something, it can do it and all this shit. But anyway, long story short, Robert Conrad got smoked. He got smoked, dude. Yeah, I miss Blockbuster, Brittany. That was some good stuff. Oh yeah, they're losing. And okay, now, um, that's what was I going to say? The Robert Conrad Kaplan, right? Okay, well, Kaplan, he is a Kaplan is a runner. So if Jake Paul wants to come over and try someone that's boxing on the elite, and he gets beat up, it's expected. But it puts other things in perspective, you know? It'll make him realize, like, yo, let me not do that shit or I'm gonna get hurt. And the way it's knocked out, the way Jake Paul knocked out that one cat, what's his name? I forget his name, but he knocked him out cold. If he gets knocked out cold like that, that's how that would be. You know, that's how it should be. And he should respect it. Like, he should know, like, yo, I can't do that no more. You know, let me sit down, let me do my YouTube videos, let me try something else out. Let me try MMA or some shit. You know what I mean? And then really see what happens in MMA, and you try that shit with him, you know, UFC. So, you know, but boxing, no, no. If he gets in there with somebody in the top 20 and they mollywop his ass, okay, that's when I think that journey would stop for both of them. Kurt runs YouTube. I don't know about that. Kurt runs his YouTube. But no, but as far as film goes, right after I finished Black Panther, right? This was right after Black Panther and before um oh man. Damn, they got that too. Sorry. Okay. Black Panther, right after I finished that, I get a call from I get a call from I get a call from a stunt coordinator, and they're like, "Hey, man, we want you to come in and audition for this bare knuckle fight film." And the bare knuckle fight film, it was a fight film called Knuckle, right? Story about a New Zealand bare knuckle guy, and he was fighting underground, kind of like some Lionheart like shit. You know what I mean? Like some Kumite underground fighting. And I went for this audition for this guy. He was like the last bad guy. His name was Bandy. Okay, Bandy was a guy that was a YouTube, like kind of like a Kimbo Slice. So he was like, he had tats and gold teeth and shit like that, and that was the character. You know, he had gold teeth, he had fucking he had cornrows and shit. And he was a bare knuckle YouTube sensation, so you can look him up, and like he had millions of views, and he would be knocking motherfuckers out like Kimbo. And that New Zealand guy, that was the last fight. So I auditioned for this shit, and I got it. So for 3 fucking weeks, we worked on choreography for 3 weeks. Blood sport reference. I know, right? So I find it funny that people write off Z Tommy fast. You will see. And they canceled it. So I'm thinking like, oh man, I'm finally going to do something in the film industry that kind of reflects what I do, because I'm shooting out videos and stuff like that. People need to understand how hard boxing is to master. Jake Paul and his brother will end up getting hurt. Then his followers will say boxing is bad. Well, so what? But for the time being, they're going to bring a lot of people to boxing, and they're going to make a lot of casual people in boxing that don't know what the fuck boxing is until they will find out. And it's going to be biblical. I'm pretty sure. Tyrone getting knocked out in 3. I doubt that. I think Woodley is going to knock out Jake Paul. I hope he wins anyway. Man, I'd love to see Curry in that kind of movie. Yeah. Well, come to find out, like the main star wasn't even, I wasn't the main star, and neither was the New Zealand actor. It was Gary Oldman. British actor, Gary Oldman, legend. He was the mentor of that guy. He's just DJ Duncan James. No, he's just a pillow puncher that got rocked by a bum last fight. um, Gary Oldman Dracula. Yeah, exactly. What's your next part? You got one lined up. It's a movie and I have a film. It's an acting role. We haven't started filming yet. It's going to be in Florida, and the movie's going to be called Florida. And I play a character in a film, and it's going to be with. Do you guys know who Nick Stahl is? Carlos, what's up, brother? Counterpunch to you. Counterpunch boxing. Do you think Tank Davis is talented enough to defeat Keith Thurman? I think Keith Thurman's too big for him. I think someone like Keith Thurman is talented enough to here's the thing. Tank is good for his size. Could he beat Keith Thurman? Maybe he could. But then it's other questions you ask yourself about Keith Thurman before even getting about beating Keith Thurman. Could he hurt Keith Thurman? You know what I mean? And see, Keith Thurman's the type of dude where Keith Thurman ain't no slouch, people. He ain't no slouch. See, you get in there with someone like Keith Thurman. Tank's smaller, so the smaller little, a good little guy fighting a good big guy. It's gonna be that's kind of like a yeah. I mean, Tank's good with fighting in his weight class, but fighting someone like Thurman, no. Thurman might be a little bit too much. He might have broke off a little bit too much he could chew at that point. You know what I mean? He would have to use his speed and elusiveness to be that guy. But understand, Thurman has been beaten by guys that size. Pacquiao is his size. Tank and Pacquiao around the same height, people. Pacquiao's a little motherfucker. Yeah, Nick Stahl, JP. Tank versus Prograis. Now that's a fight I want to see. YouTube boxing. Yeah, Nick Stahl from Terminator 3. Right. Exactly. He was in Bully and a lot of other stuff, but I auditioned for a film that he's a writer on as well as the director. So it's going to be in Florida. And I think Mel Gibson is producing it. So, but it's one of those ones that as soon as it gets greenlit, I've already auditioned for it and it's a go. So, as far as acting, because actually that was right before I left to go to DR. So, stunts, I have no idea. Stunt work comes and goes. That's like somebody might call you for a job in New York. 2 days later, they may call you and say, you know what? We don't have the scene no more. That type of shit. So it's nothing certain until you're on set, signing the contract. Which that's really shitty. Exposaholic, Wilder versus Usyk for undisputed summer of 2022. Exposaholic, I'm for that. Shit, let's do it. Let's see it. Now boxing is so unforgiving though. You should just move to Florida. Nah, I ain't moving to Florida. I've had my time in Florida. I'm not moving there though. I don't think. you know, but facts. Um, you don't know that Jake's fights haven't gone past round two. Tommy be going to the distance with scrubs. If Usyk beats AJ, he should retire. No, if Usyk beats AJ, they're gonna fight again because it's a rematch clause, Sosa. And then AJ's too fucking young to retire. But then again, if Usyk beats AJ, then Usyk's credibility will be just as high as Andy Ruiz, if not higher. Usyk will be the next Andy Ruiz, but then see, here's the twist with Usyk. Usyk will then be recognized, maybe recognized as a heavyweight still, because see, if Usyk beats Joshua by unanimous decision, if he beats Joshua by unanimous decision, then Usyk will be one of those guys that will probably be avoided. And even if Joshua fights him and beats him, which Joshua, I don't know if he would. And if he does, he'll probably hurt him and, knock him out, stoppage or some shit. But like, Usyk will be that guy that nobody will want to fight. But if he stops Joshua, there's no guarantee that he will get credit for stopping Joshua. But then the narrative would be think about it. It's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, two-time, twice beaten, former unified heavyweight superstar boxer Anthony Joshua has been stopped by the former undisputed, now current unified heavyweight champion superstar boxer Alexander Usyk in round 7 of their much anticipated mandatory unification bout. And that being said, Anthony Joshua is by far a guy that has not got a chin. His chin is subject. His chin is expected to not have what we thought it was the whole time. That's why, in fact, he did not want to get in the ring with Deontay Wilder, the once beaten. He won't say once beaten. He would say the two-time WBC heavyweight superstar boxer Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder back in 2018. Does Spence need the KO? I don't know. I don't know if Spence needs the KO or not. I thought Usyk was mandatory. Does the rematch apply to mandatories? Yeah, obviously it does. You know what? I'm going to counterpunch that. That's been on my mind. You know what I mean? And I don't think that shit's cool. I don't like that because mandatory shouldn't be that. But then again, look at what we have with fucking Wilder Fury. See, here's the problem with Mauricio and his bullshit. Mauricio Suleiman made Tyson Fury the mandatory for Deontay Wilder, but then allowed a contract to be, excuse me, allowed a contract in their fight negotiations. See, any mandatory should not be a rematch clause. Whoever like that mandatory beats that ass, he's the new champ. Matchroom loves rematches. Yep, they do. But then again, shit, why do you think Wilder won a battle in court? There shouldn't even been, if he was a true mandatory, which he wasn't, that was just something to fuck over Dillian White. Everybody knew that. Dillian White would have been the mandatory. They paid more so they can get the rematch, I think. Yeah. Thanks for that counterpunch, Kurt. No problem. No, I got a counterpunch with a video with that because it's not right. They should respect mandatories for what it is, but everybody's following the money and they let everybody that has the money do whatever the fuck they want to do, and it ain't cool. That's not cool. White needs his shot. Well, White needs to keep doing what he's been doing. But then, see, here's the thing. When you have guys like Dillian White, he's kind of like right under everyone else. And I'll tell you, the worst thing White could have ever done, though, for himself was get himself knocked out by Povetkin. They don't have to agree to a rematch, but they do, Karn. After these fights, it's the next generation. Yep. Let's have it. But you have to admit, if the numbers are good, it will happen. Thurman loses one fight to a juiced up Manny, and now he loses to a super lightweight. It won't happen. I think Keith Thurman would smoke little Tank. I think he would run right over him. Tank will be quick and stuff, like he has to stay elusive, but I think he's barking up the wrong tree dealing with somebody like Keith Thurman. Juiced up. What the hell? Yeah, they say Manny was juiced up because there were no VADA testing in that fight. But see, here's the problem with that. If there's no there was none on each side. So shit, Keith Thurman could have done whatever the hell Keith Thurman wanted to do too. You got to keep it real. Is Michael Hunter back on the map after his last fight? Well, no, not really, Charlie. Not really. It was just a neutral fight for Michael Hunter. I don't think this mattered at all. That fight didn't matter with Michael Hunter. That was just a fight that he took because another fight that he didn't want, that everybody wanted to see. A lot of people wanted to see Philip Hrgovic take on Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter fucked up by taking that fight. He did. Now, at the same time, he feels that it was he called the shots. So I think he felt better about making the decision to fight Mike Wilson. But I don't think that was the right or the best decision for Michael Hunter. See, what prepares him knocking out? What prepares him for the next elevation? What steps did that make for Michael Hunter fighting Mike Wilson? Fighting Mike Wilson, how does that prepare him for fighting anyone like Hrgovic? So no, it's just like a fight that kept him busy. It's a keep him busy fight. He gets paid, and low risk. But I mean, that is no step toward anything. It's just like it's a neutral. It's neutral. You know what I mean? It's like if he's in his car, that Mike Wilson fight is like him putting his shit in neutral and hitting the gas. And he ain't going forward nowhere. You know what I'm saying? AJ better keep his chin down with Usyk. When AJ is confident, he raises it. Like with Pulev, a pressure point is a pressure point. Round 2, Ruiz caught AJ's chin and it made him skip a step. Yeah, Ruiz caught his ass that left hook. AJ has to fight like he did in Ruiz too. No, he didn't. He could, but I don't think he would move as much because if he fought like he fought Andy Ruiz fighting Usyk, he will lose. Trust me. If he fights Alexander Usyk like he fought Ruiz in the second fight, he will lose because Joshua can't sit back and do what he did with Ruiz. You got a taller man in there. You got a man with a better reach, okay? Better footwork. And that'll give Usyk all the opportunity to come in. Kurt, what I meant was it's not in the rules that a mandatory has to rematch, right? Normally. No, it's not. It's not at all. But then that doesn't stop him from throwing it in the contract. So that's the problem. Fury Wilder 5, 2003, 23. Yeah, I'd hate that shit. If they had a fifth fight, I swear I wouldn't cover it. I mean, I'm not covering that shit. Oh, you meant in the second Ruiz fight? Yeah. Well, Usyk is a better boxer. Joshua needs to get his respect and stop him. Well, he needs to do something. What do the Triple D and the Triple J fans mad at Hunter for winning? They even say he has a low resume. Not after all he's fought Povetkin. No, Michael Hunter does not have a shitty resume. In fact, he has a very good resume. Usyk, Povetkin, those guys. Now, he shitted on himself because he went backwards. You don't go from Usyk to Povetkin to Wilson. No, you go from Alexander Usyk, which he took an L, drew with Alexander Povetkin, then Hergovic. Joshua ain't never fighting Wilder. I don't know. Yo, Kurt, what if Wilder versus Fury 3 ends in a draw? Do you think we will get undisputed in what we Nope. I don't think we would. Because see, what I'm convinced of now, okay, Corey, I'm convinced that Fury will rather fight Wilder any day of the week than to fight Joshua. The devil you know is better than the devil you don't. So that being said, if he draws with Wilder, that's just, hey, I'll fight Wilder. He's already said that shit, people. I'll fight Wilder 10 times. He said that. Why didn't Hunter fight the guy he was originally supposed to fight? Brittany, okay. According to the interview, Brittany, he said that, overseas, Eddie Hearn sabotaged his purse bid, therefore, with Triller. So he said Eddie Hearn went to Triller to stop them from bidding. So then what he went and did, he signed a fight to fight on Triller, which was kind of clever, I guess. But then it's like, if they sabotage that, and then, he had the lion's share of the money. And I honestly don't know. I have to get another interview with him to see what was going on. It's just kind of like, okay, you telling me that what? Oh, 72 times, he said. Great. Fucking great. Yeah, I'd be tired of that shit then. Boxing would be shit. Heavyweight division would go down to shit. Because see, then they would be holding WBC hostage. Meanwhile, Mauricio would be cool with it because he's worried about getting a whole different type of revenue from Bridgerweight. I now think that Bridgerweight champions, the division should be recognized. Sounds like Hunter might have been getting screwed. Well, he got the lion's share of the money, so that's one. They offered him more. He had the pie. So his whole thing was, Michael's whole thing was, they supposed to have negotiated a fight in good faith, which they didn't. So when it got to the purse bid, they bid and they won. So, but they still gave him the lion's share of the money. So, which I didn't understand. That's why I got to talk to him again. I don't know. Suleiman thinks we're all stupid. Nah, he's just a fucking crook. That's all. So, I mean, but back to Michael Hunter, sometimes you don't know you made a mistake until you make it. I mean, fighting Mike Wilson and shit. I mean, depends on how much he made with Mike Wilson versus how much he would have made. Risk versus reward. You know what I'm saying? So if it's this not, if him fighting Michael Wilson and he got twice as less, well, I mean, you're dealing with that's twice as less of a risk too, because he didn't have anything to worry about with Mike Wilson. That motherfucker was 38 years old for one, instead of somebody his age. Hergovich was a lot younger. In fact, Hergovich was younger than him, an undefeated guy. Not a guy with one loss like himself. On paper, it don't look bad, but when you saw the fight, you seen how bad it really was. Joshua is always learning and getting better. If he knocks out Usyk, he will be more experienced by far than Wilder and Fury. They continue to fight each other. But I'm going to tell you something. By the time they fight Joshua, these fucking ignoramuses, they will both get beat more than likely. And it will be a bad beating. And that's Tyson Fury too. Even though Tyson Fury is only a year older than Joshua, he goes in there to fighting someone like Wilder. He might end up getting beat because they're taking too much time to fight Joshua. Wilder's already damn near fucking 40. Come on, let's be real. He's damn near 40 years old. He needs to fight all these fights possible. Like he said, we want the most money that we could get possibly. If Tyson doesn't fight, what happens to the belt? I don't know, because it's up to Mauricio. He makes shit up as he goes. Gerard Mayweather is pimping on the highest level. I agree with you. He is going to get everything to protect that. Oh. Fury hurts in what? He can't handle pain. He's a quitter. Tyson Fury is just a Huey Fury with better cherry picking skills. Damn. AJ will have to give up one of his belts soon. How can he commit to all your mandatory challenges? That chick's tall and skinny. Vashti Cunningham. DJ Junkin James, he says AJ's a quitter. Like what's his name? Tywin Booth. AJ's a buff quitter. He's a black buff quitter. Corn, I was just wondering if people in the US tuned in. Oh yeah. I know I will. Fury might get stripped if he doesn't fight Wilder, but he will still have lineal belt and will keep using it for his legitimacy. Yeah, Tywin Booth. Anthony Joshua, Anthony Joshua is a buff black quitter. Anthony Joshua is a buff black quitter. Andy Ruiz. Andy Ruiz hit him with a left hook and dropped him, Andy Ruiz dropped him with a left hook, and he dropped him, Andy Ruiz is fat and nasty, I know Sosa a bit like Fury. Who did Wilder sue Top Rank or Fury? He didn't sue anybody. I'm getting hungry. He threatened his life. You know, Anthony Joshua told me to get the fuck out of his gym. You know, I thought for a minute I wanted to punch Anthony Joshua. I wanted to see if I can do the same shit if Ruiz did to him with that left hook. You know I'm 5-0, 2 women and 3 guys in the streets, you know. Oh man, it's just some pizza I got yesterday. Nobody, it was no arbitration, not a lawsuit. Who did Wilder? Yeah, Wilder didn't sue anybody. He didn't sue anyone, did he? What happens if Fury pulls out? All right, shit. Well, if Fury pulls out, I have no idea. He should get stripped, but who's to say he will get stripped? Who knows? Men's 11-0. Men's hurdles. Nothing except a payout. He will vacate and White will finally get a shot. I don't know. But then it would be stupid for Fury to do some silly shit like that anyway now, because for one, he doesn't have anybody to fight. So if he has to pay Wilder a bunch of money because of that contract, you know, see, they have precedes now. He's lost the arbitration. So who knows? Karma Serene. It seems like Suleiman was banking on Wilder losing the arbitration because he was talking about him retiring at one point. Yeah, well, that didn't happen. If Fury gets stripped, then does the mean Brian gets a shot at Wilder? No. I don't know about Brian. That mean Brian. What the hell is that? Okay. The WBC are not involved. All right. This arbitration is not a court order. I'm sure there's a way out of it. Yeah, they didn't want a way out of it. They wanted that fight to happen. Trevor Bryan, I'm pretty sure. No, he's with the WBA, though. Not the WBC. So, I think at the end of the day, that's what you're dealing with. Trevor Bryant. No, Trevor Bryant's the WBA, so that's one of those situations. Um, I'm going to pause for a second. Well, for a second, I'm going to come back on the Olympics because I'm going to watch that, and I'm going to do a live then. But it's been a cool live chat with you guys. I hope you guys stay safe. I'm trying my best to continue to get better so I can do better counterpunching for everyone. You guys stay safe, be good, and everyone has been counterpunched. Peace.